Guruji. Anantam Shukrana Guruji for this beautiful, blissful, divine satsang, and also blessing us with this beautiful seva of reading as well as listening to the Shivpuran. Beginning with the synopsis of the last week. Last week we read chapters 17 and 18 of Rudra Samhita section 5. In this we read that the Asura Jalandhara captured Amravati, which was the capital of Indra's heaven, and all the gods including Indra fled from there. Now they went into a cavern of the golden mountain Meru, and then Jalandhara followed them there. This, of course, terrified all the gods, and they tried to, seek refuge in Vishnu and went to Vaikuntha. And there they, told Lord Vishnu about their plight and how they were being troubled by Jalandhara. So Vishnu decided to help the gods, and he mounted on Garuda. He knew that he could show his valor, but he could not defeat Jalandhara, as Jalandhara had come from Shiva. He was a part of Shiva, so he could not defeat Shiva. But anyways, he wanted to help the gods, so he, along with other gods, went to the place where Jalandhara was with all the Asuras. Then started a fierce battle between Asuras and gods. Now, when Vishnu saw all the gods being struck by Asuras, so Vishnu hastily went to the battlefield and started pounding all the Asuras, and this made the Jalandhara very angry, and he hastily came to the battlefield to fight Vishnu. Now then started a very fierce battle between Vishnu and Jalandhara, and both were equally powerful and had the same amount of heroism, so none could be defeated. Now after a long battle, Vishnu got dejected, and he assumed a very nice form, and he granted a boon to Jalandhara. He asked Jalandhara to ask for a boon. So Jalandhara requested Vishnu, who was also his brother-in-law, to come and stay at his home along with his wife Lakshmi and all his followers, which included all the gods. So Vishnu had to agree to it, and Vishnu, along with Lakshmi and his followers, like all gods, they went to the city of Jalandhara and started staying there. So Jalandhara also appointed very powerful asuras in authoritative positions over gods. So gods became subservient to all the asuras. So indirectly he started ruling all the gods, and he started ruling the three worlds. He also took over all the gems that the gods had taken from the ocean. He got all the powerful asuras like Nishumbha and Sesa back onto the earth. So all in all, they were ruling the three worlds in a virtuous manner. There was nothing wrong in that, but the gods were being distressed because they had become slaves. So they mentally meditated upon Shiva, and then Shiva commissioned Narada to help and carry on the task of God. So Narada came there where all the gods were, and after the gods bowed down to Narada, they explained their plight to Narada, and then Narada went to the assembly chamber of Jalandhara. Now when Jalandhara saw Narada, he welcomed him, he worshipped him, and asked him the reason of his visit. So Narada, because he wanted to deceive Jalandhara and he wanted to carry on the task of gods, he told Jalandhara that he was a powerful ruler, but he lacked the most wonderful lady in the whole universe, which was, and then when Jalandhara asked him who this lady was, so Narada said that Parvati, who was Shiva's wife, was the most wonderful lady in the whole world, and that his life was a total loss because he did not have her, and this created pangs of love in the mind of Jalandhara, and after that Narada departed from there and he carried on with the plan. Today we will be reading the next chapters, which is chapter 19, which is Jalandhara's emissary to Shiva, and chapter 20, the fight between Ganas and Asuras. Today we do not have Hindi reading, we have English reading by Jyotsna Auntie. If you all also are, anybody is interested in reading the Shivpuran, you can reach out to Seema Auntie, Rashmi Auntie, or me, and we can fix a reading for you. In the meantime, enjoy the readings. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji.
Jai Guruji, Shukrana Maharaj for the seva. All right. Chapter 19, Jalandhara's emissary to Shiva. Vyasa said, O omniscient Sanat Kumara, what did the king of Daityas do after the departure of Narada to heaven? Please narrate to me in detail. Sanat Kumara said, when Narada departed to heaven after taking the leave of the Daitya, the king of Daityas, who had heard of the exquisite beauty of Parvati, became harassed with the pangs of love. The deluded Daitya, Jalandhara, who had lost clear thinking, being swayed by time, called as messenger Rahu. The infatuated son of the ocean, Jalandhara, addressed him politely with these words. Jalandhara said, O Rahu, of great intellect, most excellent of my emissaries, go to the mountain Kailasa, O accomplisher of all activities. A sage and a yogin named Shiva lives there. He has matted locks of hair, he is detached, he has controlled his senses, his body is smeared with ashes. O messenger, you shall go there and tell the detached yogin Shiva with matted locks of hair fearlessly. O Yogin, ocean of mercy, of what avail is an exquisitely beautiful wife to you who stay in the jungle, attended by ghosts, goblins, spirits, and other beings? O Yogin, the state of affairs is no good in a world with me as the ruler. Hence you give up your wife, the most excellent lady to me, the enjoyer of all excellent things. Know that the whole universe, including the mobile and immobile beings, is under my suzerainty. All the excellent things of the three worlds have come into my possession. I have forcibly seized the most excellent elephant of Indra, the most excellent horse, Yucharsuras, and the celestial tree Parajita. The wonderfully excellent and the most divine aerial chariot, fitted with the swan, belonging to Brahma, is now standing in my courtyard. The divine and excellent treasure, Mahapadma, of Kubera is in my custody. The umbrella of Varuna stands in my house, shedding its golden brilliance. The great garland of never fading lotuses of fine filaments, belonging to my father, is as good as mine. The noose of Varuna, lord of waters, is also mine. The excellent javelin of Mrityu has been seized by me with force. The god of fire has surrendered to me two clothes purified in fire. Thus, O great Yogin, all excellent things shine in my possession. Hence, O ascetic, you too surrender your wife, the most excellent of all ladies, to me. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing his words, Rahu went to Kailasha and was allowed to enter by Nandin. With surprise and misery manifest in his eyes, he went to the assembly chamber of Shiva. On entering it, he saw Shiva, the lord of the gods, the great lord, quelling darkness with his refulgence, shining with ashes smeared, adorned with all royal paraphernalia of wonderful features, exquisite in every limb and embellished with divine ornaments. The emissary named Rahu bowed to Shiva. His haughtiness subsided by the brilliance of his body. He went near Shiva. Rahu was desirous of speaking to him. He sat in front of Shiva. Urged by his gesture, Rahu spoke to the three-eyed god Shiva. Rahu said, I am the messenger of the Lord of the three worlds, worthy of being served forever by the Daityas and the serpents. I have come here to you on being sent by him. The son of the ocean, Jalandhara, became the lord of all Daityas, and now he is the lord of all the three worlds. He is the emperor of all. That powerful king of Daityas is like the god of death to the gods. Listen to what he says, addressing you, the Yogin. O bull-bannered god, listen to the behest of the Lord of Daityas, who has divine power and who is the master of excellent things. How can the auspicious daughter of Himawat be a wife unto you, who habitually stay in the cremation ground, wearing garlands of bones and assuming the form of a naked ascetic? I am the possessor of all excellent things. She is the most excellent of all ladies. She deserves me better than you, who live on alms. The three worlds are under my control. I partake of shares in sacrifices. The excellent things of the three worlds are found in my palace. We are enjoyers of excellent things. You are a mere naked ascetic and a yogi. Surrender your wife unto me. Subjects shall always keep their king happy. Sanat Kumara said, When Rahu spoke thus, a terrific being resonant like the thunder came out from the space between the eyebrows of the trident-bearing deity. He had a leaden mouth with a moving tongue, his eyes shed fiery flames, his hair stood at its end, his body was dry and rough. He appeared to be the man-lion incarnation of Vishnu. He was huge in size, he had long arms, his calves were as stout and huge as the palmyra tree. He was very terrible, he immediately rushed to Rahu. On seeing him rushing to devour, Rahu was terrified. He ran out when he was caught by the terrific being. Rahu said, O great Lord, O Lord of the gods, save me who have sought refuge in you. You are always worthy of being worshipped by the gods and asuras. You are the Lord endowed with all the riches and accomplishments. O great Lord, your terrible servant has come here to swallow me, a Brahmin. O Lord of gods, favorably disposed to your devotees, save me lest he should devour to me, obeisance to be to you again and again. Sanat Kumara said, O sage, on hearing the words of the Brahmin, the great Lord, favorite of the distressed and helpless, spoke to his Gana. The great Lord said, Leave off this Brahmin Rahu, the emissary who has sought refuge. O excellent Gana, those who seek shelter shall be protected, not punished. Commanded thus by the Lord of Parvati of sympathetic temperament, the Gana set Rahu free, immediately on hearing the word Brahmin. After leaving off Rahu, the Gana came near Shiva and pleaded to the great Lord in piteous words. The Gana said, O great Lord, O Lord of the gods, O Shiva the merciful, O deity favorable to the devotees, my prey has been taken away. O Lord, I am tormented by hunger, so I am utterly emaciated. O Lord of the gods, what shall be eaten by me? Please command me, O Lord. Sanat Kumara said, On hearing these words of the being, the great Lord of wonderful sports, eager to help his own persons, replied, The great Lord said, If you are badly in need of food, if hunger torments you, eat up immediately the flesh of your own hands and feet. Sanat Kumara said, On being commanded thus by Shiva, the being ate up the flesh from his limbs. He was left only with his head. On seeing that being of terrible activities, left only with his head, the delighted Sadashiva spoke smilingly. Shiva said, O great Gana, you are blessed since you carried out my behest to the very letter. O excellent one, I am pleased with this action of yours. You shall hereafter be known by the title Kiritti Mukha. You shall be my doorkeeper, you shall be one of my great Ganas, very heroic and terrible to all wicked persons. You are my favorite. In the course of my worship, you too shall be worshipped always by my devotees. Those who do not worship you cannot be pleasing to me. Sanat Kumara said, With this excellent blessing from Shiva, he became delighted. From that time onwards, Kirtimukha was stationed at the entrance of the Lord of the gods. This Gana shall be specially worshipped in the course of the adoration of Shiva. Those who do not worship him at the outset will find their worship in vain. Chapter 20. The fight between the rank and the file of the Ganas and the Asuras. Vyasa said, O omniscient Sanat Kumara, a wonderful story has been narrated by you, wherein the sanctifying sports of Shiva, the great Lord, are included. Now take pity on me and tell me with pleasure, O great sage, when released by that being, where did Rahu go? Sutta said, Oh, on hearing the words of Vyasa, of immeasurable intelligence, the great sage, the delighted son of Brahma, replied. Sanat Kumara said, Rahu had been let off in the land of the outcast. He too became an outcast and came to be known in the world as such. Considering that as his second birth, he became humble. He became free from haughtiness. He slowly wended his way to the city of the Jalandhara. After approaching Jalandhara, the lord of Daityas, he explained everything concerning Shiva in detail. O Vyasa, on hearing it, the powerful son of the ocean, the excellent lord of Daityas, Jalandhara became furious from head to foot. Then the infuriated excellent Daitya commanded the entire army of the Daityas to enter into the fray. Jalandhara said, Let all the asuras such as Kalanemi and others set out with their entire divisions, Shumbha, Nishambha, and other heroes, the descendants of Koitavitra, the scions of the family of Kambhu, Dharudaras, Kalakas, Kalakyas, Mauryas, and Dharmas, let all these start for the fight. After ordering thus, the lord of the Asuras, the valorous son of the ocean, set out quickly, accompanied by the crores of Daityas. Then Shukra and Rahu, with his head severed down ahead of him. In this quick, jerky movement, his crown became dislodged and fell on the ground. The sky was entirely enveloped by clouds as in the rainy season. Many ill omens occurred, portending great slumber. On seeing his enterprise, the gods, including Indra, went to Kailasha, the abode of Shiva, without being observed. After going there and seeing Shiva, the gods, including Indra, bowed to him with stooping shoulders. They joined their palms in reverence and eulogized. The god said, O great Lord, Lord of the gods, O Shiva, the merciful obsequious be to you, save us who have sought refuge in you. O Lord, we are very much distressed by this harassment. All, including Indra, are disposed and compelled to stay on the earth. O Lord, how is it possible that you do not know this adversity of the gods? Hence, in order to protect us, please kill him. O Lord, Vishnu, who was assigned by you the task of protection, is now unable to protect us. He is also subservient to him and stays in his mansion along with Lakshmi. All of us gods stay there obeying his behest. O Shiva, we have approached you unobserved by him. That powerful son of the ocean is coming hither to fight with you. O omniscient Lord, you shall kill Jalandhara in the battle without delay. Save us who have sought refuge in you. Sanat Kumara said, after saying this, the gods, including Indra, bowed to him and stood humbly glancing at the feet of Lord Shiva. On hearing the words of the gods, the bull-banner deity laughed. He called Vishnu immediately and spoke these words. The Lord Shiva said, O great Vishnu, the distressed gods harassed by Jalandhara have sought refuge in me. O Vishnu, how is it that Jalandhara was not killed in battle by you? Leaving off your own Vaikuntha, you have gone to his mansion. As I wanted to be free and sportful, I had appointed you for the protection of the good and the curbing of the wicked. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of Lord Shiva, Vishnu replied, humbly bowing down with palms joined in reverence. Vishnu said, he was not killed in war by me because he was born of a part of yours. Moreover, he is Lakshmi's brother. Please kill him. O Lord of the gods, he is very powerful, heroic, and indefatigable by the heaven dwellers and others too. I am telling you the truth. In fact, a war was fought with him by me in the company of the gods, but my strategy was ineffective in regard to this great Danava. I told him, I am delighted with your valor. Tell me the boon you wish to have. On hearing these words of mine, he chose an excellent boon. O great Vishnu, please stay in my mansion. Sabasya went to me along with my sister, the gods and myself, so I went to his mansion. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of Vishnu, Lord Shiva, who is favorably disposed to his devotees, laughed and said delightedly and sympathetically. The great Lord Shiva said, O Vishnu, foremost among the gods, please listen to my words attentively. I will kill the great Daitya Jalandhara, there is no doubt about this. Go back to your abode fearlessly. Let the gods too go back without fear and hesitation, considering the ruler of the Asuras already killed. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of the Lord Shiva, the Lord of Lakshmi immediately went to his abode without doubts along with the gods. In the meantime, O Vyasa, the valorous king of Daityas went along with the well-equipped Asuras to the outskirts of the mountain. Accompanied by a vast army, he laid siege to Kailasha. He stood there like the god of death, roaring like a lion. On hearing the tumultuous roar of the Daityas, Lord Shiva of great sports, the destroyer of the wicked, became very furious. The great lord of various sports, the enthusiastic Shiva, commanded his powerful Ganas, Nandi and others severally. Nandi, Vigneshwara, Kumara and all other Ganas at the bidding of Shiva hurriedly got ready for the battle. The infuriated and invincible Ganas descended from Kailasha heroically, shouting war cries and leaping to fight. Then at the ridges, valleys and sides of Kailasha, a terrible battle was fought between the leaders of the Pramatmas and the Daityas. Weapons clashed with weapons. The whole earth shook resonant with the sounds of great war drums brindas, and conches that inspired the heroes as well as the sounds of elephants, horses, and chariots. The whole atmosphere was filled with javelin, iron clubs, arrows, great pestles, iron rods, pikes, etc., as if strewn with pearls. With the dead elephants, horses, and foot soldiers, the earth shone in the same way as before, when great mountains were scattered, smitten by the thunderbolt of Indra. With the groups of Daityas killed by the Paramatmas and with the Ganas killed by the Daityas, the whole ground was filled with suits, flesh, and streams of blood. It became so marshy as it became impassable. With the power of Sanjeevani, Bhargava resuscitated the forces of the Daityas, killed by the Paramatmas in the battle again and again. On seeing them, all the Ganas were agitated and terrified. They intimated to the Lord of the gods what Shukra did. On hearing it, Lord Shiva became terribly furious. He became terrified, blazing the quarters as it were. A terrible Kritya came out of Rudra's mouth. Her calves were as stout as palmyra trees. Her mouth was huge and deep like mountain caverns. With her breast she crushed huge trees. O excellent sage! She rushed immediately to the battleground. The terrible Kritya roamed the battleground devouring the great Asuras. Fearlessly she rushed amid the battlefield where Bhargava was stationed, surrounded by the leading Daityas. O sage, she enveloped the whole sky with her terrible brilliance. She split the ground she trod, she stuffed Bhargava into a vaginal passage and vanished in the sky. On seeing Bhargava seize, the invincible armies of the Daityas became dejected and faded in their faces. They fled from the battleground. The army of the Daityas became scattered and split in their terrific fear of the Ganas, like bundles of grass split and scattered when blown by the wind. On seeing the army of the Daityas thus dispersed and frightened of the Ganas, the leaders Shambha and Nishambha and Kalanemi became infuriated. All the three powerful Daityas obstructed the army of the Ganas, showering arrows like the destructive clouds in the rainy season. The volleys of arrows discharged by the Daityas enveloped all the quarters and the atmosphere like huge swarms of locusts. They shook the host of Ganas. Split by hundreds of arrows, the Ganas shed streams of blood. They resembled the red Kimasuka flowers of the spring season. They didn't know what to do. On seeing their army thus shattered, the infuriated leaders Nandi, Ganesha, and Kartikeya hurriedly checked the rushing Daityas. With this, we conclude today's